Good day, everyone. I am Noriel Jude C. Irinco, a third-year college student and currently taking Bachelor of Secondary Education major in Mathematics. So guys, are you doing great? Can I ask for a few minutes of your time? If that being said, let's hop into our topic. So our topic for today is integrating ICT in mathematics teaching. First, let's come to our learning objectives. So at the end of this module, the students, by the way, for viewers recognition nga pala, the term students also pertain to the viewers out there. Hello po, salamat po sa paglalaan ng oras. So let's continue. At the end of this module, the students are expected to identify the different types of asynchronous communication system. The second one, it is expected that the students will be able to discuss how asynchronous communication system facilitate learning in mathematics teaching. So here's our topic for Module 8, Integrating ICT in Mathematics Teaching. First, let us define ICT, or the so-called Information Communication Technology. So what comes into your mind? Okay? ICT deals with the communication technologies such as internet, cell phones, computers, softwares, and mostly social networking. Ito yung mga technologies na nakatutulong para makapag-communicate, mag-store ng file, mag-transmit at magmanipula ng mga impormasyon. If a certain technology has these features, yung mga nabanggit ko kanina tulad ng nakaka-transmit, etc. are in the means of ICT. So, klaro na ba ang ICT? If that being said, let's now integrate ICT in mathematics teaching. Let's consider our situation today. We are at this time where virus affect all the sectors, ang ating ekonomiya, lifestyle, and mostly our education. Oo, yung kalidad ng edukasyon talaga. Kasi hindi lahat are privileged the so-called communication technologies. Alam mo ang tinutukoy ko, lalo na sa mga remote areas. Okay, back to our topic. These occurrences, yung pandemic, will absolutely divert our lifestyle into new normal. Let's now consider mathematics through the use of communication technologies. Kung dati, it is relatable learning mathematics through face-to-face discussion and with the help of examples in the blackboard. Now, through communication technologies, we can now seek information and learn from it. We have two modes of e-learning. By the way, e-learning kasi we are integrating ICT or mga media platform para mas makasik ng information or sa mga lessons sa math. So, we have here the Asynchronous Communication System and the Synchronous Communication System. Nakatala dito yung mga communication tools na pwedeng gamitin sa pag-aaral at pagtuturo. Kumbaga, linearly related ang speaker at receiver kasi mas mapapadali ang pagtuturo online with the help of these tools, lalong-lalo na sa math. At mas mapapadali ang pagkatuto ng mga estudyante, lalong-lalo na sa math. Because in the field of mathematics, you cannot easily type algebraic problem in some media platform. It takes a communication tools that is suited in expressing functions or equations. So with the help of these two modes in delivering e-learning, we can easily express ideas in mathematics. Let's now discuss the asynchronous communication system. It was stated that asynchronous communication system or asynchronous e-learning is commonly facilitated by internet communications media such as email and discussion board. It is also stated that students do not need to schedule their time around the predetermined plan of the structure. And also, it was stated that asynchronous e-learning makes it possible for learners to log into an e-learning environment at any time and download documents or send messages to teachers or peers. In other words, participants communicate at different times from different places using the same communication tools. And also, it was stated that asynchronous tools enable communication and collaboration over a period of time through a different time and different place mode. The second one is the weblogs or the blogs. So again, here's the picture. These blogs is useful for sharing ideas and comments, and its drawback states that may take longer to arrive at decisions or conclusion. The third one is the messaging or the email. So here's the picture. This email is useful for one-to-one or one-to-many communications. Its drawbacks state that may be misused as a collaboration tool and become overwhelming. So let's now come to the fourth one, or the so-called the streaming audio. So here's the picture. This streaming audio is useful for communicating or teaching. Its drawback states that static and typically does not provide option to answer question or expand on ideas. The fifth one is the narrated slideshows, the one that I have been using right now. So here's the picture. This narrated slideshow is useful for communicating or teaching. And its drawback states that static and typically does not provide option to answer a question or expand on ideas. The sixth one is the document libraries. So here's the picture. It is useful for managing resources. And its drawback states that version control can be an issue unless check-in and check-out functionality is enabled. The sixth one is the document libraries. So here's the picture. It is useful for managing resources, and its drawback states that version control can be an issue unless check-in and check-out functionality is enabled. The seventh one is the databases. So here's the picture. This databases is useful for managing information and knowledge. Its drawback states that it requires clear definition and skillful administration. The eighth one is the web books. So here's the picture. This web books is useful for teaching and training. Its drawback states that not dynamic and may lose interest of users. So next, the ninth one is the shared calendars. So here's the picture. It is useful for coordinating activities. And its drawback states that system compatibility. The 10th one is the website links. So here's the picture. So this website links is useful for providing resources and references. Its drawback states that may become outdated and broken. So let's now proceed to Module 8.2, or the Synchronous Communication System. So the learning outcome. At the end of this module, the students are expected to first identify the different types of synchronous communication system. And the second one, it is expected that the students will be able to discuss how synchronous communication system facilitate learning in mathematics teaching. So, let's talk about the synchronous communication system. Lately, we have discussed the asynchronous. Now, we are going to discuss the synchronous. So, a synchronous communication system or the synchronous e-learning involves geographically dispersed students accessing the same website at the same time as an instructor. This type of learning is commonly supported by internet communications media such as video conferencing and chat. The instructor typically drives a slideshow presentation, which the students watch while connected to a conference website. Students can ask questions or provide comments through the phone line and through a chat window. In other words, participants communicate at the same time from different locations using the same communication tools. Synchronous tools enable real-time communication and collaboration in a same time, different place. They possess the advantage of being able to engage people instantly at the same point in time. The primary drawback of synchronous tools is that, by definition, they require the same time participation. Different time zones and conflicting schedules can create communication challenges. In addition, they tend to be costly and may require significant bandwidth to be efficient. So, have you already distinguished the difference between the asynchronous and synchronous communication system? Kung ating uunawain, the asynchronous focus on data or files na pwedeng magamit ng estudyante anytime na mag-login siya sa any asynchronous communication tools, while the synchronous communication tools focus on active participation of students, kung saan makakuha ng datos ang isang estudyante sa mismong oras ng paggamit niya ng synchronous tools. So let's now proceed to the types of synchronous communication system. First, we have the audio conferencing. So we have here the picture. It is useful for discussion and dialogue. Its drawback states that it costs, especially when international participation is involved. Free options such as Skype are now readily available. So the second one is the web conferencing. So here's the picture. So it is useful for sharing presentations and informations. Its drawback states that it costs bandwidth and may also require audio conferencing to be useful. Within the states of Washington, a state-supported tool is available. Some LMSs employ a built-in solution, and some free tools are available. The third one is the video conferencing. So here's the picture. So it is useful for in-depth discussion with higher touch interactions. And its drawback states that cost, limited availability of video conferencing system. So the fourth one is the chat. So we have here the picture. It is useful for information sharing of low complexity issues. Its drawback states that usually requires typing, lower touch experience. The fifth one is the instant messaging. It is similarly with the chat. So here's the picture. So it is useful for quick communications. So its drawback states that all users must use compatible system, usually based for one-to-one interactions. The sixth one is the whiteboarding. It is useful for co-development of ideas. Drawbacks: cost, bandwidth, may also require audio conferencing to be useful. Many web conferencing tools include whiteboard features. So let's now proceed to Module 8.3, or the other digital tools. So we have here the learning outcome. At the end of this module, the students are expected to utilize digital tools to construct communication text samples. Hundreds of digital education tools had been created with the purpose of giving autonomy to the student, improving the administration of academic processes, encouraging collaboration, and facilitating communication between teachers and learners. Among them, the following are the top 11 most popular according to elearningindustry.com. So the first one is the Edmodo. It is an educational tool that connects teachers and students and is assimilated into a social network. In this one, teachers can create online collaborative groups, administer and provide educational materials, measure student performance, and communicate with parents. Among other functions, Edmodo has more than 34 million users who connect to create a learning process that is more enriching, personalized, and aligned with the opportunities brought by the technology and the digital environment. So, here's the inside picture of the Edmodo. The second other digital tools is named Socrative. It is designed by a group of entrepreneurs and engineers passionate about education. Socrative is a system that allows teachers to create exercises or educational games which students can solve using mobile devices, whether smartphones, laptops, or tablets. Teachers can see the result of the activities and depending on this, modify the subsequent lessons in order to make them more personalized. So again, here's the inside picture of the application or the software Socrative. The third one is so-called TeamLink. This allows educators to create interactive images with music, sounds, text, and photographs. This can be shared on the other websites or on social networks, such as Twitter and Facebook. TeamLink offers the possibility for teachers to create learning methodologies that awaken the curiosity of students through interactive content that can expand their knowledge. So here's the inside picture of the software TeamLink. So the fourth one, we have the TED-Ed. TED-Ed is an educational platform that allows creating educational lessons with the collaboration of teachers, students, animators, generally people who want to expand knowledge and good ideas. This website allows democratizing access to information both for teachers and students. Here, people can have an active participation in the learning process of others. So again, here's the inside look of the TED-Ed. Let's now proceed to the fifth one, or the CK12, a website that seeks to reduce the cost of academic books for the K-12 market in the United States and the world. To achieve its objective, this platform has an open source interface that allows creating and distributing educational material through the internet, which can be modified and contain videos, audios, and interactive exercise. It can also be printed and comply with the necessary editorial standard in each region. The books that are created in CK12 can be adapted to the needs of any teachers or students. So here's the inside look of the CK12. So let's now proceed to the sixth one, or the Class Dojo. It is a tool to improve student behavior. Teachers provide their students with instant feedback so that good disposition in class is rewarded with points and students have more receptive attitude towards the learning process. Class Dojo provides real-time notification to students like, "Well done, David," and a +1 for working collaboratively. The information that is collected about student behavior can be shared later with parents and administrators through the web. So here's the inside look. So let's now proceed to project. This This is a tool that allows you to create multimedia presentations with dynamic slides in which you can embed interactive maps, links, online quizzes, Twitter timelines, and videos, among other options. During a class session, teachers can share with students academic presentations which are visually adapted to different devices. So here's the inside look. So let's now proceed to EduClipper. This platform allows teachers and students to share and explore references and educational material. In EduClipper, you can collect information found on the internet and then share it with the members of previously created groups, which offers the possibility to manage more effectively the academic content found online, improve research techniques, and have a digital record of what students achieved during the course. Likewise, it provides the opportunity for teachers to organize a virtual class with their students and create a portfolio where all the work carried out is stored. So here's the inside look of the EduClipper. So the ninth one is the Storybird. Storybird aims to promote writing and reading skills in students through storytelling. In this tool, teachers can create interactive and artistic books online through a simple and easy to use interface. The stories created can be embedded in blogs, sent by email and printed, among other options. In here, teachers can also create projects with students, give constant feedback, and organize classes and grades. So here's the inside look. So the last one is the Animoto, a digital tool that allows you to create high quality videos in a short time and from any mobile devices, inspiring students and helping improve academic lessons. The Animoto interface is friendly and practical, allowing teachers to create audiovisual content that adapts to educational needs. So here's the inside look. So for the summary, information and communication technology, or the ICT, is an essential portion of teaching learning process. Results from several studies indicated positive attitude of teachers along with the need of the use of the ICT tools for professional development of teachers and increase the performance of the learners, as the learners were found motivated by the recent development of the tools. However, the lack of knowledge to integrate the tools, availability of the resources, affordability by the learners, and insufficient teacher training provisions were found as barriers in the use of the tools. Communicating with mathematical expressions on the internet is not as easy as communicating with regular text, but there are tools that make it possible. Tools are now available, often with no expense, which offer mathematics instructors option for synchronized and synchronous communication to support collaboration with their students and between students. Through clever application of these tools, teacher can create exciting new opportunities to pull learners into conversation and turn passive knowledge receiving students into active knowledge making students. Students may soon come to expect the availability of tools like electronic whiteboards in their courses, as they are beginning to emerge in learning spaces outside of structured courses. Thank you.